Growing up essentially is coming and I don't want to be unprepared for it. So I was like, you got to decide, like, you're gonna be a real person. And then I was like, where's the best opportunity for like growth, innovation, and improvement? It might be the medical marijuana industry.
At some point, drifting stops feeling harmless and starts costing you. You either take control or you don't. For Alec, that moment had a date. 8 years later, Alec built a career in an unconventional lane, not because he had a perfect plan, but because he chose a direction. Your time may be limited, but your potential isn't. So make today the day that you choose to take control. Let's dive in. Welcome to this episode's Best Path Forward, where we talk about personal development tools that we use to hit our goals. Today, I'm joined by Alec.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. First time podcast guest, any podcast. So.
Any podcast guest.
Yeah, this is brand new to me.
So what are you expecting for your first podcast experience?
Some good conversation for sure. And I just hope I don't stumble over my words too much and that I can get everything out and that I've organized my thoughts clearly enough to really express what I'm thinking,
All right. I can tell you one thing you probably weren't expecting. Bourbon.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't, but very good stuff indeed.
It is. And so we're drinking a 1792 bottled in bond. And you had a question about what bottled in bond was.
Yeah.
And so I'm a bit of a bourbon nerd. Like, I don't know that much about it, but like I go to distilleries and hear the same stories all the time. Mm-hmm. And so they'll say the Bottled in Bond Act, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's the first regulated, food and like consumption item in the United States. It was the Bottled in Bond Act.
Okay.
And so the reason they did that was because before bourbon got regulated, people would go around and just like have like spitting tobacco and the juice and everything. They would sell things that had like fertilizer and like manure, like coloring and everything.
Yeah.
Made people sick. And people were like, you know what? Government, we need you to step in. And the government's like, how are we going to do that? We're like, we need you to regulate it. And you know how they regulated it? They had the Bottle and Bond Act. And so the Bottle and Bond Act, I think it has like 3 or 4 requirements. One, it has to be aged at least 4 years. It has to be in a single location, and it has to be proofed at exactly 100. So whenever you see bottled in bond, like the government agent would stand outside the building so no one couldn't get in there and interfere with the aging barrels. And that was the thing. It was like it had to be at one distillery. Only the government agent had the key to get in and out so no one could like mess with the supply. Yeah. And it had to be proofed at exactly 100. And since then, people were like, I can trust that bourbon. So that's what the whole story of bottled and bond is.
I mean, it makes sense to me. You said it's the first regulated food item in America? Of course, it's going to be something like alcohol. Right?
I would never have guessed that would be it. It's like we have all these priorities happening in the world, but it's like, people need their booze.
Yeah. I guess like far enough back, though, a lot of people were making all their own food or growing it or like if it was farms or whatever, or you got it from your neighbor or someone else was doing it. So maybe you just more of a trust thing. I don't know.
Have you ever gotten food from a neighbor?
I don't know about my neighbor, but my mom, she grows vegetables in her garden. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Peppers, herbs like parsley or oregano or whatever.
All right. It'll be our secret. Are they good vegetables?
They're good.
All right.
They're great, Mom. They're great.
Alec, Mom, thank you very much for making some good vegetables. How do I get some?
Next time I go, I guess I can get a bag together and bring it back.
All right. Do I put together a list or are you going to throw in anything in the bag that you want?
Well, I can't let you know because I don't know myself what would be available at the time. Depends on what she grew this particular year. So.
All right. Well, I can't wait to get some fresh vegetables.
Yeah. I will say though, too, it is a goal of mine one day to have my own garden where I can grow some of my own food. I think potatoes would be cool. Or carrots, anything like that, just to help supplement my grocery bills a little bit.
Yeah.
And I say that too, and it's kind of funny, this idea of like being more self-sustainable, but you've got to put a lot of money into growing this stuff before you actually get the benefit of saying, well, now I don't have to buy this from the store, right?
It's like I want to buy the $6 bag of potatoes that's 5 pounds. Or I want to buy like the dirt, the soil, and then like labor and time, and then like Mother Nature. We live in Ohio, and sometimes that weather can be a little dicey.
It's true.
Do potatoes grow in the winter? I don't know.
I think the ground probably gets too hard when it gets cold, right? Yeah, and it's funny too when I say like, yeah, I'd love to grow my own food, as if I know for a fact like I would even be successful at doing it, right?
Well, how do you know if you aren't going to try?
Yeah, well, I would try, and that's the point, right?
Yeah,
if you got a goal, you got to at least try.
I think so. I think that's the whole aim of this whole podcast.
Right.
When you said I don't think potatoes grow in the winter because the ground is too cold, in my head I was picturing like someone like trying to get a potato out of the frozen ground and then just like dying because they couldn't get a potato.
Yeah,
and it's not like back in the day. It's like 2025. And they're like, I just want potatoes, and so why didn't you go to the store? It's like, well, it's right there in the ground. It's just a little frozen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that accent is, but that's what went through my head.
Everyone's like, what happened to him? He's like, oh, potatoes. He couldn't get the potatoes.
It was like, wait, like a potato? Is that code for something? It's like, no. Code for
potato.
pre-French fry. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Alec, one question I love to ask people: what's your story?
Life story, just quick summary.
You see me already drinking, so I was gonna let you just go with it. It's open-ended by design, so whatever you feel comfortable sharing. You and I just know each other from the gym and everything.
Right.
And it's like, what's your story? Like, who are you?
Yeah, sure. So I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. My parents, shortly after that, my dad had a new job, so we moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina. Lived there for about 4 years. I do have some memories back then, from back then. I was pretty young, obviously, but I can remember the house we lived in and a bits about the neighborhood and everything, backyard, all that. And then we moved back for family. So that was when I was probably about 5 years old. So like right before I would start kindergarten. Then I lived in the Cleveland area on the west side for all the rest of my life, basically, until I went out to school. I went to Ohio University down in Athens for 1 year. Had a great time, but always knew I wanted to go to Ohio State, which I didn't get into out of high school. I'll admit that, didn't get in. But it's much easier to transfer in. So after 1 year, I transferred in, went and finished my schooling there. And then, for the longest time when I was in school, I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. My hobbies and my interests changed constantly, right? Like year after year, I was always into something new. It used to be skateboarding, and then it would be suddenly I was really into football, and then suddenly I wanted to do wrestling. The point being that it changed so often. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up. And so I was undecided for a long time. You get all the GEs out of the way. And then I was like, where's the best opportunity for growth and innovation and improvement? What's the latest and greatest thing? If you asked me now, I would have said it was probably AI or something. But back then I was like, you know what? It might be the medical marijuana industry.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so you do medical marijuana stuff now?
So yeah, I graduated from Ohio State with a degree in agribusiness, agriculture business, because I was like, well, this seems kind of specific enough, right? And then right out of school, I jumped right into Ohio's medical marijuana program, which started in 2018.
So you're going you're going to grow potatoes on one side and then marijuana on the other side in your backyard one day.
Yeah, which is legal now from the state. You can grow at home.
I feel like you feel obligated to say that for some reason.
No, I just figure it's a little fun fact. But just so you know, that if I were to say on camera that I would, if I was growing something at home, it is legal now.
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, hypothetically. I live in an apartment, so I can't grow anything right now.
Not that attitude. This is all about hitting our goals and, personal development. So if you have a mindset to do these things, you can do it.
You're right.
So you said a lot of cool stuff there. And obviously the medical marijuana things is pulling at my attention to ask. But I got to ask you first about OU, the Bobcats.
Yeah.
So you're there for a year. What was your favorite part of OU?
My favorite part of OU, I guess I have to say, because your priorities are different when you're 18 and you don't know what you want to do when you grow up, it was fun. Right. And that is the reputation that OU has. It's a party school and you can have fun at any college across the entire country. Right. It has a specific reputation and I think it lives up to it. So I liked it because it was fun and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Was it tough to transfer to Ohio State?
Not at all. So like I said, both of my parents went to Ohio State. I have grandparents that went to Ohio State. I have aunts and uncles that went to Ohio State. It runs in the family, right? I was a fan growing up. So I always knew I wanted to go there. I gave OU a fair shake and it was a great place. But I always knew I wanted to go. So it was an easy choice. So I just, I did file that application and got accepted and that's it. I'm in.
Did OU and your friends fight to keep you there?
No, well, there are some that give me grief about it because they're like, what do you mean you're leaving OU? OU, oh yeah, is the phrase everyone says down there.
Oh boy.
Some people felt betrayed, but I think also, good friends want to support you in the things you want to do, right? So.
Or are those the same friends, the ones that felt betrayed, still supported you?
Well, it's both, right? Because then they're like, oh, what do you mean? What are you doing? And they're like, okay, I get it. Ultimately, at the end of it, so.
I was a fan of Athens. My friends and I, we take a yearly trek there in January for some reason. So it's cold. And we always go to this pizza shop, Good Godfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah. That's a great pizza shop.
I love it.
And then we go to this bagel place too. And then we go to this Mexican restaurant that's on campus. And all this is in the span of 4 hours because, they're a little bit older than I am. They have kids and everything. So we just got to get it all done from 11 to 2. I'm like, that's so early. And so I like OU. I like the Athens and everything. It's a lot of hills.
Yes, very hilly.
Very hilly.
I lived in Jefferson Hall. And for anyone who's been to OU or went to there, and those Jeff Hall. Right outside Jefferson Hall is Jeff Hill, which is like a 45-degree hill that is it's one of the rougher ones, but that takes you up to like where the Court Street is, which is like the main off-campus area where all the bars are. But so that's like right immediately outside outside the dorm. So I got to know Jeff Hill pretty well.
45-degree incline walk up.
I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but it's pretty steep.
I don't do math, so I'm just gonna take your word for it. That sounds like you get some good cardio, good leg strength going.
Yeah. I figure if you go to that school, you have pretty good calves.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you left the land of getting good calves for the Ohio State, which is nice and flat and easy.
Yeah. Well, what OSU lacks in hills, it makes up for in distance.
Yeah.
It's such a big campus that, so I told you I graduated with a degree in agribusiness, right? So the ag school at OSU is on the west side of campus, which is across the river.
Oh.
Yeah. And my last 2 years there, I lived on 4th Street, like 4th and 12th, which is pretty much as far off campus east as you can go, right? So it would be like a 50-minute walk to get all the way over to that campus to go to class some days. And so
that is a long walk.
Yeah.
But
you get the steps in.
You get your steps in. Did you do that in the winter too?
Not as much. Eventually I had a parking pass, so
yeah,
I would drive.
I was going to ask if you did it in the winter if you saw some poor dude out there in his field trying to get a potato off the frozen ground and just walk past them, but you didn't encounter that.
No, I never saw that.
All right. So what was your favorite thing about going to Ohio State University?
Like just being at Ohio State University, I think for me was the coolest thing of all because I felt like I was carrying on something in my family and all that. I love Ohio State football and sports for that matter. Football is my favorite for sure.
Oh, you're a Browns fan?
I am, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
We're going to cheers you to your Browns.
Right. Well, thank you.
It's all right.
I appreciate it. Fun fact, the year that the Browns got moved to Baltimore was right around when we moved to Charlotte.
Oh.
So there was no Cleveland Browns team during that period. So the Carolina Panthers are my other team. And my first NFL game, which I'm too young to remember, was a Panthers game. So that's my other team.
Are they good?
They have been up and down, that's for sure.
Are they better than the Browns?
Last year they were.
Oh, you know what I appreciate about Browns fans?
Yeah.
It's like every year you guys have hope. I'm not a huge like sports fan at all. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I came out to Ohio, and it's like, oh, we're Bengals or Browns. Like Bengals, like they seem more realistic about things going on. Browns fans like, oh, this is our year, no matter what. And it's like I love that hope.
You can never let it go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Browns fans have commitment, so. Yeah, that's a good thing to know for everyone out there.
It's a commitment?
Yeah, you know, they make good, dating partners or whatever because they're committed.
That's tough though. Commit to somebody that's going to keep letting you down.
I know, it's a toxic relationship.
It's so toxic. It's tough. And so you live in Columbus now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So what type of stuff do you do here in Columbus?
Well, I love hiking and nature. So we have easy access to Hocking Hills back there towards the OU area and everything. There's all kinds of state parks around here. I love that there's always new restaurants. Apparently Columbus is like a big test market for food, like new restaurants and everything. So
why do you think that is?
I feel like it's just like middle America, like you get to test what everybody's feeling a little bit. You know what I mean? Because people come here for work from all over the country. It's a big Midwestern city. And there's a lot of young people too, like a lot of not only because of the college, but just because graduates, like the yuppies, they're all here.
The yuppies?
Yeah, like young professionals.
Oh, is that what a yuppie is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought yuppie was something else.
I don't know. Maybe it is something else, but I've always thought it was because it was young professional.
Hey, I mean, let's call it, yeah.
If it means something else that I don't know about, what I mean is young professional.
Hey, it's all good, man. Yuppie, young professional, same thing in Alec's book.
Yeah.
It's all good, though. So there are a lot of young professionals here, a lot of, I guess, cross-section of America just kind of meets in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so what are some restaurants that you've kind of like found to be some of your favorites recently?
I like Marcella's a lot.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Cameron Mitchell restaurant. Yeah, the veal meatball.
Everyone talks about this damn meatball.
Dude.
I love it. I had a buddy that came up from Texas, and he, my coworker, my good friend, he was like, we have to go to Marcella's. I'm like, why? He goes, I had to try the meatball. And he went and tried it. You should have seen the look on his face. It comes out like a little crock pot.
Yeah.
He was so happy. Like, honestly, you don't need anything else outside of that meatball.
Yeah, it is worth it alone to go there. But that's amazing. Someone from Texas was like, I know about this meatball.
I know. I mean, they probably tested it here first, and then it just spread the word. Do they have more than one Marcella's, you think?
There's definitely another one in Polaris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The guy Cameron Mitchell, is a really famous restaurateur, I think is the word.
Never heard of him. That was, of course I have.
Right. So, Yeah, I know for sure there's 2 here, and I'm sure there might be others elsewhere, but
There's probably one down in, no, there's probably not one in Texas because he would have tried it down there.
yeah, can't say for sure.
I can't either.
Yeah.
All right. So outside of Marcella's and their veal meatball, what other places?
I don't know. I don't eat out too much. I try to like make all my own food, like from the grocery store, just to like budget in that way and everything. But there's so many options, and they come and go pretty quick too.
I know, you see them all. I'm like, oh, this Columbus restaurant's shutting down. Like you get the little email alerts, like this place has been around for 3 years. It's shutting down.
Yeah, it's like test over, I guess.
I know. It did not go in their favor at all.
Really?
I think cooking is something that a lot of people don't do. It's easier to just like track like macronutrients and everything. So I guess what type of stuff do you like to cook?
So really simple, because I'm the kind of person who will like put his food scale out and like put his Tupperware thing on there, or like his Pyrex bowl or whatever. And I'll weigh out my like 6 to 8 grams of chicken, and then my cup of rice, and then my whatever grams of some kind of vegetable like broccoli or carrots or whatever. So when I cook for myself and I'm just trying to get through the week, it is like a meal prep. I don't do the thing where like people will lay out like here's lunch and dinner for every single day. It's like I'll do like a big batch of something, and then I'll just pull from it like as I need to for the week and everything like that. So when it's like just getting through the week and everything, it's just for me, real simple stuff. So it'll be like chicken, ground beef, maybe pork sometimes.
All in the same meal?
No. I'm just saying like what I would like cycle through.
Oh, that makes more sense. I thought you were eating all that at once. It's like, let's go.
No, that'd be where I'm getting make a meatball, because then I'm like mixing everything together, right?
Veal meatball.
Hey.
We're coming for you, Cameron Mitchell.
And then it'll be some kind of carb like rice or potato or sweet potato, sometimes pasta. Not too often though. And then vegetables, real simple, like broccoli, cauliflower. I like Brussels sprouts.
I was gonna say, I've been getting into Brussels like crazy.
Yeah.
They're low key kind of good.
They are. And you can get them like, you can prepare them really well, or like get them from the Giant Eagle Market District or whatever. They do like the peppery and like olive oil. They have like a pre-made, it comes in like a saran wrap and everything.
I get the ones you just have to put in the microwave and steam, and then I have to like cut them sometimes and like do my own seasoning.
Yeah. But you can make it taste really good. There was a restaurant, I used to live in Toledo, and there was a restaurant there that had these like, they were Brussels sprouts, and they had something like, it was sweet, very sweet. I don't know if it was like a syrup or something that was on them. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but it was like a Brussels sprouts with like a vinaigrette, and there was something, it might have been honey. It might have been honey, but the way they prepared them were so good. So
honey on top of Brussels sprouts?
Yeah. And there was like a lot of more that went into it, but man, it was good.
That sounds real good.
Yeah.
Does your mom grow Brussels? Do you grow Brussels sprouts? You have to grow them, right?
Yeah. I think they grow on the ground. I know they're in like the broccoli cauliflower family.
Yeah. I feel like broccoli steals all the attention.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts is just like, hey, I'm the better one, but like no one likes me because broccoli is still in all the limelight.
Yeah, totally. And yet I feel like Brussels sprouts too is almost like the meme of like the little kid who doesn't want to eat his vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm not eating the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, why does Brussels sprouts have that reputation? That's sad. Probably the broccoli industry.
Could be.
Those folks were like, hey,
big broccoli's trying to take
broccolis taking over
Brussels sprouts.
That is true and sad. Speaking of things that grow in the ground, so you work for a medical marijuana type of place. What's that all about?
So I have worked for 3 different companies in the industry. It was medical only starting in 2018. Then just last summer, actually in 2024, the recreational program started because I got voted in after. So basically I've worked at cultivation and processing facilities, which are licensed by, which is now called the Division of Cannabis Control in the state.
Dang, that's a fancy name.
Yeah. They're the real deal. And so we would grow the plants and we would harvest it, and we'd end up with the flower at the end. We also would have a processing license, which is what allows you to produce like vape pens and gummies and edibles and all kinds of products, really. There's a lot of science that goes into it. So I don't know all the details about that side of things, but you get like a chemist in there or someone who's just really knowledgeable about those extraction processes and everything.
Yeah.
And you can make stuff like tinctures. You can make arm patches that you stick on your arm and it delivers it that way. Capsules, all kinds of stuff.
You say a tincture?
Like a tincture, like a dropper bottle.
Oh, wow.
So you can put it in a drink or on your tongue or whatever.
And it has just like cannabis or THC in it and gets you a little happy.
Yeah. It can have all kinds of stuff. It's interesting too, because like THC is what people know about in cannabis, which is what you mostly want because that's what gives you the sensation of being high, right? But other than that, there's stuff like CBD, which a lot of people know about now. But there's actually like around, I think, like 100 other different cannabinoids in the plant.
100? I don't hear about the two, CBD and then THC.
Right,
What
which
do
is
the
the
other
big
ones do?
ones. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing because it's been illegal for so long. There's not a lot of research on all of the other possibilities that could be contained in this plant. And when it's in the black market and you're just selling a product people want to use just to get high, you're going to selectively breed the plants to produce a lot of THC. So that's what you see in most of the strains in this modern day and age is they're high THC, some are high CBD. But if you get the right breeding program with the right research done on some of the other, what we call the minor cannabinoids, right? Because they're found in lower quantities in the plant. Who knows what we might find down there?
Any like hints on what's in there?
There's like CBC, CBG, CBN. CBN is allegedly a cannabinoid that helps with sleep.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of stuff, right? So I can't make any real health claims about it because it just simply has not anything. There's, obviously there's nothing like FDA approved or real serious research done on it, but it'll be coming as long as the laws continue to change and things get opened up. Yeah, there's probably lots to learn.
I think it's cool that once the law got passed, like it just makes it a little bit easier part for like funding. Well, it's still illegal federally, but I assume like funding probably got a little bit easier too. And then that means you can do more research plan like some of these hidden benefits. I didn't know there were over like 100 different types of cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids?
I was butchering that. You're way too kind. I saw you looking at it. It's like, oh, he's not going to get it. I didn't get it.
Cannabinoids.
Over 100 types.
I believe so.
I take your word for it.
Yeah.
It's probably more than two.
For sure, there's more than two. But they're found in such minuscule quantities in the plant that it's hard to tell like what effects the other ones have. Now I don't know if like from that list, like how many even have a name yet and all that, but there's a lot down there. So who knows one day what we might discover. Once you study, like when you get to the higher quantities, on a percentage basis of some of those other ones, what kind of effects they have. Like, CBN is suggested to help with sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot could be discovered.
All right. So between being interested in like the medical marijuana field, and you also mentioned earlier that you like to go do outdoorsing and hiking. Have you ever been hiking before and just like stumbled upon like a weed plant before?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, that'd be wild, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. It'd be interesting too, because it's like, depending on where you are, it's like, how did that get there?
Oh, and someone's watching you.
Right. Well, the last thing you want to do is be wandering through the woods and come across what is clearly like someone's operation. And you're like, oh no, like they don't want you leaving knowing where they are and everything, Like,
Has that happened?
Well, you got to think like when it was completely prohibited, complete prohibition. Like if you go to like in California, Northern California, Humboldt County is like a very famous area of the country where like people would go out into the woods and start farms and like, you're not messing, you're gonna be messing with the wrong people if you like stumble across their stuff and like now you know where they are. And it's like when you leave here, you're gonna go straight to the law enforcement and everything.
Oh, they aren't gonna let you leave.
Yeah, you don't know who's in control, whose money you're messing with and everything, right? So
it's scary language, man. You look so happy talking about some scary stuff.
Yeah, I'm just explaining how it can be sometimes, I guess. But I waited till it was legal. So
yeah. So now if you go onto someone's like lawn that has a lot of weed out there, and probably some potatoes. I'm really stuck on this potato thing. So you go on someone's like lawn and everything. You have like, hey man, it's all good. It's legal now. They're like, you're right. We're gonna let you live.
Yeah. If someone's growing it at home, like there are some rules. Like people won't just have them growing in their front lawn or anything. They have to be like not visible from the road or like with it contained within a structure that obscures the visibility of it and stuff like that.
And they want to grow it in secret.
Yeah. Like
probably for safety reasons.
There's a lot of reasons why. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's not safety. What else is there?
Well, safety for sure. But just like, I think just generally speaking, it's like if you just had like a couple plants growing in your front lawn, like it smells like a live plant smells crazier than any like baggie or anything you'll come across.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, big time. Like if I go up, like where I go to work, if I'm walking through the parking lot, it's like, yeah, I know you can smell it.
Do you get high from the smell, or you just like?
No, okay. There's no contact high or anything like that. Like you don't experience it unless you like smoke it or eat it or anything like that.
You probably can just smoke the smell in the air. That's not a thing.
No, not really. Like even if you're in a room with somebody, like. Sure, like you might be breathing some of what they've exhaled and everything, but like more than likely, like you're not going to be like, oh my God, like now I'm feeling it or whatever,
What if you have like a low tolerance like I do?
A little tolerance?
Like a low tolerance.
Well, I don't know. Unless someone's really like blowing it in your face and then you're like getting a big breath or anything, I think.
It's not an accident. It's not an accident at that point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So you like to travel.
Yeah.
I assume you go beyond just Talking Hills.
Yeah. As much as I can, I definitely like to travel. I want to see as much as I can because it's a big world out there, And I've lived in Ohio my entire life. I have never lived anywhere else. So yeah, there's a lot to see.
Where have you gone so far? Like, what's been some of your favorite places?
Well, this past summer, I went to first Amsterdam, and then I went to a small town in France called Epernay, which is in the Champagne region. And then I also went to Paris. So that was pretty cool. The summer before, I went to Italy, which was a very nice trip. I enjoyed that a lot. But other than that, like as far as like here in the States, I'm trying to go. Speaking of goals, I have a lifelong goal of going to every national park in the country.
Nice.
So
where have you been so far?
I've been to 10 so far. So I've been to Cuyahoga Valley, which is up in Cleveland, in between Cleveland and Akron. I have been to New River Gorge in West Virginia. I've been to Shenandoah Valley, which is in Virginia. I have been to the St. Louis Arch. It's technically a national park.
Wild.
I don't know.
It doesn't have like, it doesn't have like a forest around it, does it?
No, it's in the middle of the city. It's right on the river, but it's just the arch and like the lawn. And there's a interesting museum if you're into that kind of thing there. But that counts. That's on the list, so I count it. Let's see. I've also been to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. I have been to Grand Teton and Yellowstone, which are both in Wyoming. I have been to Yosemite. Oh, I've been to Mammoth Cave, which is in Kentucky. And I've been to Mount Rainier in Washington.
So 10, how many are there total?
I think there's like 63.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to say like 15 or 20.
No, I think there's 63 like official national parks. And then like throughout the country, there's like national forests and like national monuments, which I couldn't really tell you the distinct categorization between those things. But so there's a lot out there, you know?
So what about, I guess, national parks kind of draw you to them?
I think I just really like nature in general. It's cool. And it's like, for me, it's kind of fun to like go to a city and I can appreciate like what mankind has created. And like, there's a lot of really cool cities that people build and everything. But I do also go like, what was this like before civilization really sprung up here? You know what I mean? And we've changed our environment so much that like, we've redirected rivers and we've blown holes through mountains and like cut roads into like canyons and everything. So we've really changed a lot. So I just really like geography is cool to me. I think just like being in nature, it's like so foreign because we live in society, right? Like here we are in Columbus, it's a very urban environment. Where I grew up in Cleveland was just suburbs, so it's not totally urban, but it's a suburbs of suburb. It's all very manicured and put together and clean, which again, I can totally appreciate. There's just something about being like, if you go to a national park, and you can travel to like places that are like established for visitors. Like if you go to Yellowstone, you can go to Old Faithful, which is the famous geyser that goes off there. And it's completely built up around that too. There's a visitor center, there's roads, there's a ton of parking, and there's like 5,000 people standing around and waiting for that thing to go off, right? When we went to Yellowstone, my friends and I, there was about 9 of us, we did a 5-day backcountry backpacking trip. And so we're out there in nature, there's no roads, there's no one to call for help, there's no cell service. You're really in it.
Was this a challenge or you guys did this voluntarily?
This is for fun.
Oh, okay.
This is like vacation. This is like what we want to do,
All right.
Yeah. Which is great. I think it's great. I love it. And so you're like truly out there and like a place like Wyoming out west in America, like it's just so beautiful out there. It's so amazing. And when you're actually, one of my favorite parts of being out in the middle of nowhere is the lack of light pollution. Because at night, you see the full scope, as long as there's no clouds, right? You see the full scope of what the night sky had looked like for all of eternity until electricity was invented, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because when you see the actual Milky Way, it's so mind-blowing. Because then you like just realize like where you actually are in all of this, right? Because here in Columbus, you can look up and you can see the Big Dipper and like you can see the North Star or whatever. But like when you see the full everything, I mean, it's insane. It's truly insane. So I guess to sum that all up, being out of nature and everything is like being away from it all, appreciating the trees and the geography and the landscape and everything, animals too. Those are cool depending on which ones you run into, right? I was really worried about running into bears when we were in there.
That's fair. Bears are terrifying.
They are very scary, especially the brown bears, but we didn't see anything.
You got lucky then.
I guess so, yeah.
You guys planned well. And I agree with you, like just kind of like looking up into this open skies, like just makes you like not feel small, but just kind of make you appreciate like the greatness that's out there. It's just like we're just like in this one little place on a giant planet in the middle of a galaxy.
Yeah.
It's like just a wild thought and concept.
It is truly. Yeah. There's not, I mean, it puts everything into perspective, and it's honestly just like completely like you're awestruck, like especially if you don't see it too often. Like I'm sure there's people who are like used to it depending on where you live and everything, but like for me, it's like that might have been the first time I like really saw the night sky. You know what I mean? Like as it's normally, and then I think about it too. Like I said, up until electricity was invented, like that's what everyone was seeing for as long as people have been around, right? And observing it, like I don't know, it's crazy, and I think we miss out on a lot when we don't get that. You know what I mean?
I think I want to go hiking now.
Yeah, you should.
I hope not to run see bears, but with my luck, I might. But that's all right. I'll just play dead or something. But I agree with you. Like it's good to just go out there and just kind of see nature.
It is, yeah. Fresh air, you get away from things. I do a lot of hiking by myself. I have, and like I will go out there with no music or anything and just kind of be. You can get a lot of thinking done.
All right,
that's for sure.
What goes through your head when you're out there hiking by yourself?
Just like life in general, like what I want to do. Like I can like recap, like, wow, how's my past month? How's my year been? Like what's bothering me? Anything, whatever comes up. And like, cause you're, when you're truly out there and you're alone and there's no real noise and all you have are like birds chirping, maybe there's the sound of water running or something, or the wind coming through the trees or whatever, like your stream of consciousness will just go wherever, because what is pulling your thoughts? Not a lot, right? If you're used to the environment where you're in the urban and there's cars honking and there's people and there's all this stuff, electronics and all this stuff, and suddenly it's just that, it's like, I don't know. It's very interesting.
So is it like good for like your mind, body, and spirit as well, you think?
I think so. Without getting like too woo-woo. Like I think
get woo-woo, man.
Hey, well then I think we're missing something when you're not connected to like, to all of that. Because we're a part of it. We emerged from it, right? And then we changed our environment to better suit us. But, we gotta remember, like when people before society and like before we were as comfortable as we are in the country and the time that we live in now, like you were just living you just put together sort of like a little hut out there. And you're just hoping something doesn't come try to eat you, and you're just left to your own devices, like growing potatoes and stuff like that.
Really not in the winter.
Not in the winter. Yeah, in the winter you're kind of in dire straits.
Yeah,
without society, right?
Yeah. The last question I'll press you with, you said something that we're missing something, and like we're not, like a lot of people don't get out and just kind of embrace nature and experience different things in nature. We're kind of missing something. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's just that connection, because like we're a part of nature, so you can't, like, there's an argument to be made that anything we do is still nature because we're a part of it, right? So even like our civilization that we've constructed is an extension of nature, just like at its, like, I don't know if the word ultimate is right, ultimate expression of it, because as far as we know, we're the only creatures that can like do this here. So like, I don't know, just like I go back to the thing about the night sky, because like when you live in a city, you're missing out on all that. And if you truly look up and you see like how many stars there are, and like see the disk of the Milky Way going across the night sky, like you're just like, wow, like no wonder people looked up to like the heavens and was like totally awestruck by it, And
it's wild, like they had not the tools to like kind of use telescopes and everything that can really understand it. And just sometimes the mystery of it can just kind of take your breath away, like a sublime experience.
For sure.
Dude, that's awesome. You have a fascinating background.
Well, I appreciate it, because I just consider myself one of the most normal people ever, because like I said, I'm from Ohio. I've never lived anywhere else besides Ohio. And then just like my interests change all the time. So, but I appreciate it.
You went from going from like, hey, I want to do football, I want to do wrestling, I want to do, you said skateboarding at one point?
Yeah, I did every sport for like 1 year.
Yeah. You just wanted to find what you want to do.
Yeah, well, that too. And I don't know, never made up my mind.
Still?
Well, I found something that I can do for work, which is pretty good. That's the only thing I've ever had as a career, but the hiking and nature, that's kind of always been there.
Yeah.
So that'll stick with you.
I think it will stick with you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing. But if you don't mind, we've talked enough about you.
Yeah,
you've got
right.
homework that I gave you.
Yeah.
And so one of those pieces of homework were to pick a date. Do you remember what date you picked?
It was May 15th of this year.
All right. So May 15th, 2025.
Correct.
What's special about that day?
So May 15th, 2017, I was at the end of college. And like, I just remember like whatever I was going through mentally at the time, I was like, I just need to decide now that like, I want to like be in control of my life and like, make sure that like, I'm doing everything I can to get myself where I want to be one day. And I just remember like what I did was I was like, There's like a website where it's like you can do like a days in between a date calculator.
Yeah.
So I like just it was the day was May 15th, 2017. So I just put that in there. And then like every like whatever I would remember to do it in the future, I'd hit like calculate from today back and this is many days. It's like this is how long, remember this was the day that you said like you were gonna like focus and like take control and like lock it in, I guess is what they say nowadays, right? So that's why that date.
All right. So like what made you want to lock in and kind of pick that day in general? Like what was going on in your head or in your life?
It was the like drifting from like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm in college. College is expensive. Like I don't want to make sure I'm wasting my time. College is a certain type of lifestyle where like you can like, I don't know, like there's not a lot of like humongous risks you're taking because you're not like, you are an adult legally, but you're not like fully like you're left to your own devices. Like there's still a lot of structure that's given to you because you have your class schedule and you have your homework and your exams. And if you do like, I don't know, like clubs or activities outside of that, there's a ton of structure still, which is building off of the structure you had from high school, going all the way back to when you entered, you know, preschool or kindergarten. And after that, you're just an adult in the world. You got to go out there and find a job. You got to find a place to live. You got to cook your food. You got to get all that stuff, right? I was like, that's coming. Like growing up essentially is coming, and it's coming quick. And I don't want to be unprepared for it. So I was like, you got to decide, like, you're going to be a real person in society, right? So, yeah, I think that's what went into it.
I think the transition from college to like adulthood is just fascinating and one of the most pivotal moments in people's lives. And I think it's really incredible that you're able to kind of take control of that and kind of like say, hey, from this day back to, what was it, May 14, 2025?
May 15th.
May 15, 2025. It's like, how many days have passed? It's like, time is going to pass no matter what. Like, what am I doing to like hold myself accountable? Mm-hmm. So like, do you wait until May 15th every year to like check in, or do you like check in periodically throughout the year?
No, like I said, it's like when I remember it, but it's like stuck with me that like that, I guess it's a decision, right? I haven't let it go. And it like, it's literally a tab like on my phone. So I always can go back to it. So I do check in every once in a while, but it is fun to like be like, it's May 15th of 2025. How long has it been? It's been 8 years and 3,000 days or whatever it is. I like that part of it too, because it shows you the years, the months, the days, the minutes, the seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of time's gone by.
So you're proud of yourself of what you've done in that 8 years?
I think so, yeah. It's come a long way. Like, yeah, I think it's fair to say I'm proud. I mean, like, so unpredictable too, especially like what I decided to do was in a completely unorthodox thing to do, right?
Super cool though.
Yeah, it is. It was cooler back then because it was still so novel. But I think like anything, you can become jaded on anything when you've been in it long enough. And I won't say that I'm jaded, but it's just so normal now because it's 8 years later, you know, it's become so normalized to me that it's just like what I do, you know?
So it's not shiny and new anymore.
Well, it was shiny and new. Like when we went to recreational, it's like, that's exciting. There's things to look forward to, like when it's possibly getting rescheduled federally from Schedule 1 to some other schedule, or it stays interesting. You know, it's changing all the time. And I guess it's fun too, because like with your reaction, like when I tell people this, I never really know how someone's going to react. So sometimes it's fun for that to happen, to be like, surprise, guess what I do for work and what I've always done for work. And thankfully, like, it's interesting too, because I've never like told anyone who ever really had like a bad reaction, at least like to me in the moment, you know. Most people are like, that's cool, or like, oh, that's interesting, or whatever. But no one's ever been like, oh, what? You're doing what? Like
killing our kids.
Yeah, like reefer madness. Like, this is terrible. I will say one of the funniest things that's ever happened as part of this was I used to travel to Utah for work. You know, the most 60% Mormon state, right?
That must have been fun.
Yeah.
To Utah for a weed job.
Exactly. And I was checking into a hotel one day, and I'm standing at the counter, and the kid behind the counter was, I don't know, he had to be in his late teens or early 20s. He looked pretty young. But he's checking me in, and he's like, oh, like, what brings you out here? And I was like, I'm here for work. And I was going to just leave it at that. And he goes, oh, like, what do you do? And I was like, I'm in the medical marijuana industry. And without even looking up, or he's typing on the computer, without looking up, he just goes, doing the Lord's work then. And just keeps going. And I was like, yep.
You think he was serious or was it sarcastic? Maybe he really thinks, I think it was being sarcastic.
I think he was being sarcastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did also then immediately hand me a waiver that said I wouldn't be smoking in the room that I was staying in. So maybe they do that for everybody, but
Not
the
likely.
comedic timing was there.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Well, Alec, thank you for kind of sharing the date of May 15, 2025. And so that kind of has a bike brain that kind of corresponds with that. So what I'll have you do is I'll have you read it to yourself as I kind of explain what bike brains are for those who have never heard about them. Is that all right with you?
Sure.
All right, here you go. So bike brains are a tool that I use to help process the world around me. They are a form of micro-journaling. I try to do them 6 days a week, taking Sunday off just as a general rest day. Generally, they're broken down into one of 3 big categories. Those categories are mind, body, and spirit. Mind is about having different mental rooms in your life, be it the OU room, or going to Ohio State room, medical marijuana research room, growing tomatoes and all types of crops room. We all have these different rooms in our lives that we're allocating mental energy toward. It's our job to enter those rooms to further develop what we're doing in those endeavors. The next is body. Body is about taking a 360 holistic approach to your body. It's more than just calories in or how much you work out, being calories out. It's also about how much sleep you're getting, how you carry anxiety, and also the environment around you, as they all play a part in how your body responds to situations. And the last is spirit. Spirit's about diving in and reaching out. Diving into your own code of conduct to figure out how you want to live your own life and the rules that you live by, and reaching out to others, understanding that you can't do this thing called life alone. And then there are 2 special categories, one of which falls into today's entry, and that is all as one. That is understanding that when you're using your mind, body, and spirit all together as one, you have to really incorporate the world around you. There's no good in having like a balanced state in yourself if you can't really interact with the world around you. So all is one is about taking that balanced state of mind, body, and spirit, and incorporating it into the world around you. Alec, did you have a chance to read that?
Yes, indeed.
All right, what'd you think?
I definitely like the metaphor for a radar. It says they may be overwhelmed by the things that come.
I was going to read out loud. You're trying to take my job, bro?
All right. I mean, those disrespect by it.
I mean, do you want to try to read? I've never had someone else read it out loud.
I could never.
You could. I mean, if you want.
That's all right. I will let the host.
My God. You just want to see if I stumble. The answer is yes, probably. Here we go. So once again, this bike brain entry is May 15th, 2025. It is an all-as-one entry. The title is Opportunities or Obstacles. When an operator first switches on the power to a radar, they may be overwhelmed by the things that come back on their viewing screen. The radar might show items that are as large as you are, or some that are so small that the operator might look over them. One thing to keep in mind is that the operator doesn't stop there. Their next step is to assess if that blip on the radar is an approaching friend or foe. If it's a friend, the tension eases. If it's a foe, the anxiety peaks. Part of all as one is learning to exist in the world around you as you progress toward your goals. The next threads we'll follow are how to see if the items popping up on your new radar are obstacles or opportunities. So Alec, what I like about that is because like whenever you're starting a new endeavor with anything, like it could be overwhelming. And so even if you're like the most prepared, the most focused, the most energized to do something, there can be things that just catch you off guard. And so the whole concept of a radar is like kind of building an internal system, like how can I process the world around me? Just because something looks big and scary, that doesn't mean it actually is. And so I know one thing that we have in common is like anime, right? And we're just talking about the fight with this guy had, Gogeta. And so Gogeta in that movie, you remember the movie title?
Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Broly. And so as the title kind of relates to, it's like Broly was the quote unquote villain in that story. And so you see like he blips on the radar, right? Is that like an opportunity or an obstacle, right? It's like you learn about Broly's backstory. It's like he really didn't want to fight. He had like this shock collar on. It was kind of like child abuse, really. It was kind of big.
Yeah.
And so Gogeta was like, all right, you're currently an obstacle because you want to hurt the people around me. And so he had to actually like fight him, and he fought him big. But remember what happened at the end of that movie?
He whooped him pretty bad to the point where he had to be saved himself.
Yeah. And so Broly got teleported away. And then at the very end, Goku went and visited him. Because, like, you know, this is the opportunity to help someone kind of get their power in check. And so I think the cool thing about obstacles and opportunity is that, like, you have to kind of be balancing yourself. Mm-hmm. While Gogeta saw him as a obstacle because of the things that the person was doing, once that person kind of like shifted their environment a little bit, it became an opportunity to learn how to like harness that great power that they had. Mm-hmm. The same thing goes with us. Like we both go work out. I remember my first time going to the gym, I was much heavier, out of shape. I was like, man, this is so overwhelming. But it's like, all that could be seen as a giant obstacle, or I could see every individual machine as an opportunity, right? Same thing with people. It's like, man, people in the gym look scary. We both know some scared, one of the quote unquote scariest looking people because like he scowls and then like I'll go punch him and he'll start laughing. And it's like, oh, they're a friend. You just have to kind of like raise your awareness. So it's like, all right, if someone's like really focused on a set and a workout, they're probably not going to be smiling and grinning in the ear to ear. I mean, they will just look absolutely like a lunatic, right? They're going to be focused for a second. That doesn't mean they're a foe because they're not smiling in that moment. So like once you raise your radar to the environment around you, it's like, oh, I can kind of understand what's going on. And so I think part of the whole all is one concept, right? Taking your balanced self to the world requires you to kind of really tinker what that radar is. Like read more. It's like, all right, why are they breathing so hard before they like lift heavy weights? It's like, oh, it can help with like actually hitting a higher PR. And so it's like, once you start building your understanding of it, really kind of developing what your radar is, it helps you better see the world if it's like an opportunity or an obstacle. Not all opportunities should be taken and not all obstacles should be avoided. But once you start building that radar out, you can better discern like if that's an opportunity that's for you, or an obstacle for you that you can go through and kind of build that great determination. Like for you, it's like, hey, obstacle for me going to Ohio State was that they did not let my ass in.
It's true.
But it was an opportunity as well. It's like, all right, that means I can go to OU for a year and then transfer over. And so you didn't let that one obstacle just like turn you out completely. You still had this goal in mind. You raise your radar to like other ways to get into Ohio State. It's like, transfer. It's a lot easier. So that's what you did. Right. And so I think that's impressive that you did that. And it really kind of highlights the you using your radar to like really get to what you want. So what did you think of that bike brain?
I like it a lot. And I like the metaphor of a radar because it does help you detect opportunities and obstacles. And the other thing about a radar too is that there also could be a lot of noise on it. So as you navigate your life, it's pretty easy to identify real or obstacles. I was going to use the word threats. I guess that's true as well. But sometimes opportunities I feel like might be more difficult for people because things that might be an obstacle actually turn out to be an opportunity, right? But the point about noise I was going to make is that there's also so much other stuff going on. And I call it noise because it should be unimportant to you and you don't want to get bogged down in the noise, right? You want to focus on the things that'll help you move forward. So use your radar to highlight the things that are going to be advantageous to you and filter out all the stuff that is the noise. You know what I mean?
I do. And I think environment plays a huge part of that. One of the things that you talked about that I want to try to incorporate myself is like just going out in nature. It's like, there's literally no like physical noise out there except for just like the natural sounds of it, right? You're gonna hear like horns honking or like trains and everything or like gunshots depending on where you are in Columbus. But like you're just gonna kind of be out there alone in nature and like you kind of really absorb that natural energy. And so I think kind of like even your environment can play a part in that. And like the whole concept of a radar is like there's like a lot of static and noise. And if you do that, like your radar is not gonna be as accurate. You'll find yourself running into obstacles because there's too much noise going on. You can't really kind of hone in and focus. I like the idea of static.
Yeah, because there's a ton of it, right? The world is so big and complicated. There's so many people, so many possibilities, right? You have to know what is important and what's not. So you got to be able to determine that. I think that's probably an individual battle, right? Because like it depends on what you want ultimately. But there's a lot of nonsense out there that can get you distracted and keep you from going the directions you want to go.
I think also the other tough part is that everyone's radar is going to be a little bit different. And so like, say for instance, like you got hit by a car when you're 3 years old. Did you get hit by a car when you were 3 years old?
I did not.
Oh, thank God. I was going to feel terrible. My, of all the examples I could have used, my bad, Alec.
I've never been hit by a car.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah, but that's a terrible thing to say. You have never been hit by a car. We're cheersing that. So not getting hit by a car. Yes. Cheers to that. But like someone that got hit by a car before, right?
Yeah.
There are opportunities and obstacles for like even like walking across the street. It's going to look a lot different than someone that did not have that quote unquote tragic experience.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I say quote unquote. It's an actual tragic experience. And so it's like, you have to like be like confident in yourself. To, like, all right, I kind of know I have like this traumatic thing that happened to me. How do I kind of work through that and understand like, yeah, my radar might be a little bit off, but just because it looks scary, I can't assume that it's scary. Just because it might be a foe doesn't mean it's a foe. And so once you kind of see that thing in your radar, that's you do the additional assessment, right? It's like, all right, I'm about to cross the street. If you see someone like a car coming, it's like, all right, the car's coming, but like, how fast is it going? Do I have a light to like let me go across? It's like once those things start kind of coming into your purview and you're paying attention to the world around you, you feel a little bit safer. So I think it's especially important for people that have gone through like a traumatic experience to realize like, hey, your radar might be a little different than someone else's radar. You and I have had different experiences. That's one that makes it awesome for us to kind of talk about different things.
Yeah.
But two, it's like, what impacts you might not impact me, and what impacts me is not going to impact you. So I think another lesson for the radar is like, be aware of your life circumstances, be aware of what's happening in your life, and know that you might need additional adjustment or different adjustment. And that's all right, so long as you raise awareness to it.
Totally. Yeah. And that's the big thing, right? It is very personal because no one knows you better than yourself, hopefully. But no one knows like your collective experiences, anything you've been through and all that. So like you are the one in charge of fine tuning your radar, right? Something like that, like let's say like because of that incident, there's like a fear or a phobia of like streets where cars moving fast or everything. I've heard before that the exposure therapy is a really good way to get over something like that, which is difficult, right? Because it's literally you're being exposed to the thing that you're afraid of. So like if someone's afraid of spiders, you slowly introduce them to spiders. Like maybe like they sit in a chair and on the table over there, you have a spider in a cage. And all you do is you sit across the room and you look at it, spend some time in the room with it.
Where does the spider come from? Is it like a pet spider?
Well, let's just say hypothetically let's say someone has a pet spider that they can bring to the scenario to try to help you out. And then like maybe next time you try to do this exercise, it's the table's closer.
Yeah.
And then it closer and closer until it, like you're normalizing it until, and you do like something like that essentially until you can like hold it in your hand and now you're not afraid of it anymore.
I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm not going to hold one.
Right. But
spiders, don't you?
I don't. I'm not.
You look so happy about that. I was like, yeah, I can hold spiders.
I can substitute the spider for anything that anyone's afraid of. The point is the exercise of becoming adapted to the thing that you're afraid of, normalizing it, realizing it doesn't have the power over you that you think it does. This does not mean that you can stop a car from running you over. You know what I mean? But I think people get the gist of what I'm saying.
The gist of it. It's like, let's just raise awareness and like take the fear, take the emotional charge of it. Because once you start taking the emotional charge out of it, that's where the growth really happens. And so on top of like exposure therapy, like expose yourself to different resources out there, like podcasts, audio books, like just journals, like things that kind of help you talk to other people and actually see like, oh, I'm not the only one that's been through this. How can I build a community about it? And I think it's all about community. Absolutely.
And like, what is the greatest community tool we've ever created is the internet. So out there, you can find all the things you're talking about, music, podcasts, TV, YouTube, anything. And you will find that community of people that can relate to you and have their experiences and they can talk about it with you and all that. So internet's a great place. It's going to be a weird place. So careful out there, but
yeah,
you know,
anything can be weird or good. It's just like, how do you use a tool? Like everyone's like, oh, you know, knives are bad, guns are bad. I'm like, they're just tools. They're just objects.
Yeah.
I mean, people have been killed for like a book before. It's like, oh, let's ban all books. Like, you know, it's not ideal, but like it depends on who's using the tool. Like, is that person like in a balanced state of mind to like want to do more good things and bad things? Like whatever tool is out there, like the internet, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff on it in general.
Yeah.
That's all can be a great place to like build connections and bond with people. Absolutely. And I think, and I choose to do the latter as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got great podcasts such as this one.
Oh, so, did you just plug my podcast?
I did.
Oh, my podcast?
I did.
Dude, let's go. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but here we are.
We're breaking boundaries.
Breaking boundaries? My God, we're breaking the fourth wall talking to people. That was a plug. That was great. Well, Alec, thank you for kind of taking time to really dive into the radar and talk about the static and everything, and then like how to even make the adjustments to the radar. So I do appreciate you taking the time to dive into my own bike brain.
Absolutely.
So also about me still, but kind of like your second piece of homework, I asked you to do something else. So Alec, let me ask you, what personal development tool do you use to help find your own best path forward?
All right, you asked me to give a title that sums up.
Starting with the title, let's go.
Give it a title. I am going to call it The Budget.
The Budget?
The Budget.
You have no idea. So people that have been watching this for a while, they'll see episodes, people like, I don't know what to call it. You start with the title. That has never happened.
I came a bit prepared. I did a little, you said homework, right? So
yeah,
that's the work I do at home. So
The Budget.
I'm going to call it The Budget, which I know is typically a finance word, but I think it's applicable to much of the stuff we're interested in. So
all right. So tell me about the budget.
So the budget financially means that you are allocating your resources in the proper way to, you know, be stable and secure and all that. But money's not your only resource. Your energy level during the day is a resource. Your food is a resource. Anything you interact with is a resource. And your most important resource of all is time.
Time.
That's right.
All right.
Time is your most important resource. So if you can't budget your time, you're probably going to have difficulty doing much of anything, I would say. And so that's why I call it the budget, because all of your resources, whether it's with fitness, it could be your dating life, sleep's important, your education and learning, your work, whatever you do to earn an income, what you do for fun, to like have a good time and enjoy yourself every once in a while, and then like your interpersonal relationships or romantic relationships. All of these are part of your greater budget, right? Because you're balancing the ratios between all of these things. And you can adjust it, you can tweak it, you can add to some part of your life, you can subtract from other parts of your life until you feel like you've completely optimized and you are on that path that is helping you reach the goals that you've set for yourself. So that is why I call it the budget.
Completely optimize.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
I think it's a never-ending process.
Yeah.
Because what's perfection? I don't know if that exists necessarily, right? For us, right? So optimization, I think, will mean different things to you at different points, because depending on where you are in your life, your values will change and what is most important to you will change, right? So when you're a young 20-something getting out of school, or maybe you didn't even go to school, but you're just jumping right into your career, your most important things might be that career, earning money. Maybe the fun factor is a really big one for you early on, depending on what depending on how you want to spend your time, right? So, and then you grow older, things might change. Your romantic relationships, you're going to budget more time and energy towards that. Eventually, if you have a family, your budget will change significantly, not only monetarily, but also.
I was saying that's into that finance budget too.
Yeah, the finance part.
These are expensive.
They sure are.
I didn't know like a cancer formula was like $70.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's about to have a baby, and she said, "Yeah, a can of formula is $75." I was like,
that's crazy. One can?
Yeah, I think she's getting like organic high-end stuff though. You're gonna go through a lot of that. Might as well just get that budget stuff. The kid's gonna be all right. Just needs to eat.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, the point being is that like, depending on where you are in your life, your values will change, and therefore the budget that you have for all these different elements in your life will go up and down. And when I say optimize, it just means like based on that point in time, it'll be optimized towards whatever is the most valuable thing at that point.
And so it will optimize being like you're not really having time leakage. Like you're really spending time on the things that you want to spend on. It's not like you're just sitting there letting it just kind of go away.
Yeah.
Because time is going to go no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah. And if we're lucky, we'll have like longer time, but like it's not something we can get back.
Mm-mm.
And so like optimizing just means like I'm doing the things that I have budgeted for and not letting a whole lot of time get wasted.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. And like, let's say at this point in your life, your most important things are your career, and then maybe you tie money into that. Like say someone's most important things are career, getting in shape, and I don't know, spending time with your family. Maybe it's these three things, right? Your optimization is when you realize like how much you have 24 hours in a day, same as everybody. How much time are you going to spend learning or reading a book about maybe you're an accountant, so you're going to read more about accounting, or you're going to take extra classes online, or maybe you're going to get extra coursework at a university or a community college or something like that. That's budgeting your time. It is budgeting your money, depending on what you're doing, and your energy, right? Because you're directing yourself at it. And then you're balancing that with, well, I got to go to the gym. It takes me this long to get to the gym. I can be at the gym this long. Here's what I'm going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean? So it's like you're optimizing your schedule and your resources, and I guess your mental energy too, based on what you're currently valuing the most of that particular period.
It sounds like, so I have like the concept like mind, body, spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a spiel until, about.
Yeah, I was here for it.
Yeah, you're here for about 15 minutes ago. I was like, oh, mind, right? So mind is all about like having these different mental rooms, right? And allocating energy toward them. And it sounds like the budget's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, fitness room, how much energy I'm going to allocate toward that. Oh, workout room. Like you even talked about some of your own rooms. One that's sticking out to me now is like the food prep room. Mm-hmm. It's like, it takes time to like prepare that food and everything. But like when it comes time to eat it, like you're putting the budget in now, but it's going to make it easier later on because you don't have to worry about meal prep later on.
Yeah.
Is that like a way to like kind of look at this?
For sure it is.
All right. So like, how does one get started in like implementing a budget? Like, are they like different categories? Like, do they write out categories in their mind? Like, do they put a stopwatch on and like time their stuff? Like, how do they do this?
I think there's a lot of ways to do it. I can say what I do. So I have actually created an Excel sheet that I have created multiple tabs for, and each tab represents a different part of my life. So one is my goals. That's what houses like, and that's sort of like the guiding principle, I guess, right? Like, what do I want? You gotta define what you want, right? Because how do you know where you're going if you don't even know what it is, the thing that you're trying to do? So like goals would be one. I have one for my literal financial budget. So like, this is how much I would make in a month. This is how much rent and car payments and insurance and everything I got to pay for is. How much does that leave me to then either save and invest? And then how much after that am I left to spend on whatever I want, right? So there's like the budget. If you're someone who is big into investing and maybe you have a couple different accounts, savings accounts, brokerage accounts, whatever, you could have another tab that's like portfolio. So month after month, you're tracking the change in value of that. Then you can have a tab where you're logging all your workouts, and like maybe you're measuring like on Monday's upper body day. So here's what I did. Here's the weight and reps that I did. Because you're not keeping track of that, how are you supposed to know how to get your, what do they call it? When you slowly add more weight? Progressive overload.
Yes.
We
figured that out.
But I got the other half.
Yeah. That worked out so well. I was not going to get overload.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So like, because you want to track those gains, right? You want to know what you're supposed to do to keep the gains going. So you might track what your workouts are, and then maybe you're also measuring if you have a weight loss goal or a weight gain goal, you're weighing in and you're tracking that so that you can see the difference over time. Because if you're not measuring that, how do you know what you're doing? How do you know if it's working or not, right? And then you can optimize it if it's working or not. And then like maybe you have another tab for like career / like knowledge. Like if you're big into reading, you can log all the books that you've read month over month. I have a personal goal for myself. I want to read 1 book per month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm all over the place subject wise. So it's not like it's following
What are you reading now? I'm curious.
I like history. I like books about nature, I guess, like natural history, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like animal and plant life and like how the earth has changed over its time and existence and everything. I said history, some stuff about business. Like I'll read books. My job is compliance. So like I started reading books about like compliance programs and like how like compliance officers will write books about how they like best set up programs and like what are the things to know and all that. So that's more career focused stuff, right? Some stuff about business and just it's so random. It's all over the place.
Hey, it's good to have a lot of different interests.
Yeah, I think so. And reading, like it's just such a good exercise. Like I know reading's not a super interesting hobby for people these days because you have stuff like the internet and like long format videos and everything, which are great too. There's just something about reading, I think, and I'm sure there's studies I could reference that I don't know, but they're out there.
Just make up the numbers and see what happens.
Yeah, reading is 20% better for your brain for memorization than watching a video. I don't know.
That's facts.
That's completely... Yeah, it's facts, actually.
There we go, yeah. Oh my gosh, you're going to get us canceled.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the worst thing we could say.
Challenge accepted. Let's go. You go first. No, don't.
Yeah. But anyway, so like you could keep track of stuff like that. So like your knowledge or whatever. And then anything that you're interested in, like, I don't know. If you're an athlete and you do sports, like you can track your like let's say you swim the 400 in pool, you can log that stuff on a different thing. The point being is like it's one sheet that kind of like you're gathering all the data points for the various things in your budget that you're then optimizing, and then you have a record of it too, so you can know if what you're doing is actually working or not, if it's actually moving the needle for you and changing things. And sometimes it's kind of fun to like look back and see where you were a year ago. And like, not just in your memory, but here it is. Everything that I was doing over the past year, what were the ups and downs? Where am I now? You know what I mean?
I got a deep question for you.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it can kind of look back in history. You know, my brain went, right?
I don't know. Where did I go?
May 15, 2007. No, 2000, or it's 8 years ago, 2017.
2017, yeah.
Yeah. So, Alec, I got to ask you, kind of like implementing the whole budget in your own life and everything, having these tabs, I assume they go back at least a couple of years. How do you think you've changed?
Well, I think just like personal finance was a good one. It helped me figure out how to live below my means so that I can save more than I spend. Times are tough. Economics is crazy. And so like, for me, just being able to know that I'm still setting money aside for the future, that was a big one for sure. Fitness is good because, like I said, like if you can just go to the gym and take a shotgun approach and just kind of be like, well, I'm doing chest on this day, so maybe I'll just do bench press and maybe I'll just do incline and dip sounds good today. You know what I mean? And you do that week after week, and you're like, I don't know, like I don't look that different in the mirror. Like my weight, I did the same weight 4 weeks in a row. How many reps did I get last week? You're right. So you're kind of flying blind there, and you don't really know what's working and what isn't working. And then when you have that record of progress, wow, that's a motivator because you're like, oh, it's working. Like I'm onto something here, right? So that's definitely super helpful. Yeah, I think I've come a long way and I've learned a lot. And I'm glad that I made the effort to go out of my way to do this, because otherwise, like I said, it's kind of like flying blind and it's all just noise.
And I think once you start raising awareness, so you can actually start having the decision to take action or not take action. And one thing's like, oh, something as simple as putting out my workout clothes in the morning before going to the gym. It's like, that's awesome. That doesn't mean you worked out though. Like it just has like this little mental tracker. And that's what these things are doing. Like they put these mental tags out there. It's like, all right, I have this sheet. You can choose to look at the tabs or not look at the tabs, but those tabs still exist. You create them for a reason. For you, the reminder is like, oh, May 15, 2017. You looked at that and it's like, oh, how many days have passed between that? And it's like, oh, wow, we're in the years now.
Years.
Look at that. And it's like you have like this record and this progress, and you should feel very proud of yourself. It's really cool stuff, man.
I appreciate it. And it's, it's very personal to me. Like this, obviously, like I'm saying this on a podcast, but it's like, I don't even like, this isn't necessarily things I even really discuss with friends or people who are close to me. Like it's a very personal thing. It's my life. I'm just putting it I'm using a tool to track it and measure it, which to some people, I'm sure, like, first of all, it is work because you do have to keep it updated and everything. And actually, I know it's not just mine I'm sure that'll exist one day.
Soon.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I think it's well worth it because you can't know where you're going if you don't have the goal, and you don't know where you've been if you can't remember it, right? So
why don't you, is there a reason why you haven't kind of told your friends about like kind of your approach to doing this?
It's not like an aversion thing. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like life. Like everyone is worried about their money and their health. Most people are. And like how much, what they know. And everyone values things differently. So it's not like, I also don't want to come across as someone who's like, I have tracked everything that I've done, and therefore I am like, because some people might take it the wrong way.
You think they will take it that way from you?
I try, but that's why I don't like we're talking about it and asking about it. So I'm very happy to discuss it. But I won't go out of my way to like bring it up to someone who has like not called for it. Right?
I'm giving you homework. I want to ask you to tell someone about the budget, like 3 people in real life, just to see their reactions.
Okay.
Yeah. I think vulnerability is tough.
It is tough, and it makes people very uncomfortable because it is. But hey, that's another boundary you want to push, right?
Vulnerability?
Yeah, like getting out of it goes back to getting out of your comfort zone, I guess.
I think it's part of me just being an extrovert as well. My buddy Joel sent me like a little meme or something. I think it was like a little shell. It was like, I'm an introvert. Let me in my shell. Yeah. And like on the outside, I was an extrovert. It was like this like otter or something that had like a rock wanted to break open its shell.
Yeah.
Not that I do that with vulnerability and everything, but I think it's tough to share things with people in general.
Yeah.
And I have like the whole philosophy of like open begets open. So like if you're open with someone, they're gonna be open back with you. I think it's real tough. Just like personal development, it just makes me sad. Like not you, but just some people in general. It's like, oh, I'm going to keep my journey to myself. It's like, I'm going through this monumental thing. I had these monumental steps and I'm going to keep it to myself. And that's tough because 1, you can light someone else's path by just walking it and just living. And 2, it's not going to be easy all the time to do something like a budget. It's like, man, I have to do this. I know I have to do this. It's not fun doing this, but I know I have to do it. And it's like, if someone could just be in your corner, be like, hey, Alec, you can do it. You can do it. Like, it just makes you feel a little bit better.
It does, for sure. Like, we go back to that thing about community, right? I mean, people have lived in communities as long as there have been people. So, introverts are their way. I was definitely super introverted growing up. Anyone who knows me, at least when I was growing up, would say that I was like the quiet kid, But I've changed a lot since I've grown, and I've become more assured, certain in myself. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the self-confidence is there, and like the social anxiety and stuff like that has gotten way easier, So I can definitely comfortably talk about myself now. So
yeah, you're doing this without a beat. I mean, like without missing a beat. Without
Without a beat. Oh, I got no rhythm.
I don't know. I've never seen you dance. I mean,
Oh,
we do need views. So if you're a good dancer, you can.
There's a dancing segment when this is all over, right?
I just had surgery like 8 months ago. I can't do dancing, man. I'll let you start. How about that?
All right, fair enough.
All right. So kind of recapping what you have so far, it sounds like ways to implement the budget, right? Find a way to kind of track this thing. Use Excel, but find a way to kind of track the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
And the second thing is make sure you can track those things over time.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of liked it. The first thing is figure out what categories are important to you. That's step one.
Yeah, you got to identify what's valuable and like the goals that you're going towards. Like, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you're going? I don't know. That's the right way to put it, because that sets what you need to do to get there. And that'll become the things that are important to you, right?
I don't think it's weird. I think it's very true. I mean, if someone wants to like put on muscle or lose weight and they aren't like paying attention to their macros, they're just flying blind and hoping for the best.
Totally. Like, how do you know? Like,
you don't know.
Like, no wonder you're not seeing any progress
at all. Or there's like, or if they see progress, they don't know why there's no progress.
What's working?
Like what's working, what's not working. It's like, get some data. So step number one is like figure out what categories are important to you.
Yeah.
And then step number two, find ways to kind of track those things over time. Use something like an Excel spreadsheet with different tabs to kind of like have these, I assume, rows and columns. I'm not an Excel person. They have rows and columns, right?
Yeah, that's like all it is rows and columns. and that's what I use, right? So it's not like rigid like that. Like it can be whatever you want it to be. Like if you prefer to write it all out, I guess you can keep a diary or like a logbook or anything. People can get creative, whatever works the best for them. I just like Excel because it's very organized.
I think it's super simple to use Excel.
Yeah.
I mean, I use Google Sheets mostly.
There you go.
My company's like, let's use Google Sheets. I'm like, sure, why not? And then the last but not least is like, you can optimize that, like increasing time to something or taking time away from the things that are in the budget, which kind of helps you track things over time, which leads to one, not having as many blind spots because you can go back and see. So you're not like forgetting like, oh man, how much did I do last week or the week before? The data's already there. And two, it creates records. So like you kind of say, hey, I pulled this shit off. I'm happy with myself. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Going back to a hiking metaphor.
Yeah.
If you're hiking up a mountain and you turn around and look and see where you started way down there. You're at the top of the mountain now. If you look back at your budget and go, and so there's the reward at the end, right?
That is reward at the end.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I think those are 3 easy digestible steps for the budget. I think that's fantastic stuff, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So in closing, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
I think people should realize that they're probably more capable than they think they are, and that big goals are great. Big and realistic goals are great. And I think that like everyone should try to do the things they want to do. And if it doesn't work, you only got like 80 to 100 years here. So like whatever you spend your time doing, it's all worthwhile because your time's very limited, right? It becomes more true the older you get. It's the classic thing that like your parents or like other people would be like, I wish I was young again, or like, you don't know what you'll see. And it's like, yeah, it's true. Time goes by really quickly. So it's best to be spent doing the things that you want to do and doing everything you can to achieve the things that you want. And if you don't reach it, well, then, oh well, but at least you tried.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
What if it's scary?
Well, it should be, right? Like your goals should scare you. Because if they don't, then like, what are you really doing? You're still living in that comfort zone, But you can be stronger than the things that scare you.
You can be stronger than the things that scare you.
Yeah, you can be.
I'm fired up. I'm excited.
Yeah.
You're coming back, right?
I'll be please. I'll come back anytime.
All right, I hope so. This was fantastic. I appreciate you being here. I would toast us out, but you're out of bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, we have a solution for that.
Oh,
there we go.
Came prepared.
They're going to think I'm sponsored by these different bourbon companies. They're like, wait a second.
Check them out at their Instagram. The website is
17. So like, sir, can you stop doing that? I'm like, who does a cease and desist on a small podcast? Oh my God, that'd be petty. Yeah. All right, everyone. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Thank you for watching and listening to today's episode. Chances are you're looking to embark on your own personal development journey. I'm not going to lie to you. True personal development is hard, and it's supposed to be hard. That's because you're not only changing who you are, but how you operate. The aim of this podcast is to give you a community of people that are striving to do the same. So like and subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, comment below on how you plan on using today's tool to find your own best path forward. We'll see you next time.